Let's get into the topic of the week because I don't think there's anybody else that deserves more spotlight for his performance than Garrett Wilson, the rookie wide receiver. In your second NFL game, to go back to somewhat of a homecoming to Ohio State and Columbus, not too far from Cleveland. He considered it a homecoming for himself. He said he had about 20 tickets for people in the stands and family and friends that were there watching him. And to come out and get 8 catches for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns, including the game winner, when all the pressure is on the line, all the weight of this attempted amazing comeback that was in the works for the coaching staff after the week prior easing him in and kind of saying we don't want to overload him and we should get him the ball more, but we didn't want to go too far, to completely do a 180 the next week and say game on the line. We're trying to complete this comeback and we're going to Garrett Wilson on 3rd and 10 in the red zone and he delivers. That's incredible. This doesn't happen for the Jets, and not often do they have skill talent like this that is this dynamic, this explosive, and this good, this fast. I can't wait to see what he does next.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the whole offseason, we talked about like how we looked at this receiving core and this talent core altogether for this offense, and how the sky was the limit for them. And we're seeing flashes of this so far from Wilson, from Moore, from everybody. But Wilson, the most yesterday. What he put on display was just sheer excitement personified in a player. I can't even tell you how excited I am to see this team with this talent so early too. I thought maybe that they would take a couple of weeks to really go full bore and really show what they can do. But as of right now, we have one of the top passing offenses in the league. I think if you look at Flacco, I think he's top 5 or top 10 in scoring, yardage, and accuracy. And a lot of that is due to the fact that he has weapons like Moore and our probably number 1 wide receiver, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I think that's the question to ask. Is he now the wide receiver 1? And I think there's a good chance that he already is. Apparently, after the game last week in Baltimore, Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, and Michael Fuller all sat down together and decided as a group, we need to feature 17. We need to get this kid the ball because he's too good to not be getting him the ball as much as we can. He needs to be on the field more to start with, and he needs to be the featured target because he's just a dynamic talent. And this is one thing that we talked about with him leading up to the draft, where the one thing that we all said about Garrett Wilson was he may not right now be the absolute best in any one particular category of being a receiver, but he's at or near the top of all of them. Where you want him to be a route runner, he's an absolutely fantastic route runner. He's excellent at creating separation. His lower body and his ability to stop and start and make cuts that are square as heck and cut on a dime is excellent. He's got the vertical speed to separate. He knows how to change up his pace within his routes. There's a lot to love there. You want him to be a guy who can make a play, catch the ball in space, and run after the catch. He's done that as well. We've seen in his first few games that he's still just as good at breaking tackles and tough to bring down as he was at Ohio State. We've seen his ability to go up and get the football in the air, and despite his smaller frame, to still be a go up and get it receiver. He can do everything. And there's only a handful of guys in the league that can really do everything. When you're looking at a college prospect and they show that ability, you hope that it's able to translate. But I don't think anyone expected it to translate this quickly. I don't think anyone expected where I watch him in his first couple of games. He looks exactly the same as he did at Ohio State. He's running by people just as easily. He's staying upright and fighting through tackles just as easily. His vertical leap is just as exceptional as it was before. I don't see a difference in him. And that to me is the biggest surprise. And it's such a huge positive to where that's why I think the coaching staff has this trust in him. And he backed it up. I mean, to go even further, he had a really bad drop on a 3rd down towards the end of the game before all the hilarity ensued of the comeback. And you could see it really bothered him. He was already having a really good game. He had got his first touchdown, a couple of other explosive plays, a couple other conversions, and the Jets are trying to get back and get a win. And he drops this 3rd down, and you could see it eat at him and really get to him. And he never changed. His demeanor didn't quit. He didn't get down on himself. He completely was ready to go on the very next drive. And the one last thing I want to point out to you, Matt, is I don't know if you've noticed this, but there was a play on a second down on the final drive when they're going down to score after the onside kick. And they get into a 2nd and 10, and it's the exact same play that they score the touchdown on a few plays later, where Garrett Wilson's running the little in cut and they have a flat route from the tight end. I think it was Conklin going the other way, try and widen things out. And on the first play earlier in the drive, Wilson runs his route differently. He kind of slow plays it. He lets Flacco step up in the pocket. He kind of hides behind the linebacker in his zone and then kind of accelerates once he gets into the hole. He's able to catch the ball for a first down and keep the chains moving. You get to the touchdown now. And Garrett himself said this at postgame, and it stuck out to me. I wanted to go back and look for it. He said they got the call pre-snap, and Flacco, his eyes lit up, and they knew that this was going to be a good play. And Garrett said that he gets off the ball, and he saw the coverage, and he knew it was the same coverage as before, and the hole was going to be open, so he sped his route up. And if you watch on the final play, he doesn't hesitate. He gets right behind that linebacker, cuts in, he's looking for the ball right away. Flacco hits him dead in the middle, and he's able to cross the plane for a score and, quite honestly, win the game. That's veteran thinking. That's veteran, planning. That's attention to detail. That's being in chemistry with your quarterback and being on the same page. That's what like third-year receivers do, not rookies in their second game, not rookies in their second game when they barely played in their first game. I mean, this is incredible stuff. And like I said at the top, I can't wait to see what he does next, because I just think he's only going to keep getting better and better. And I don't want to get too far out on a limb after one game, but the Jets might have a superstar receiver on their hands.
Oh, absolutely. I would say he's well on track to be maybe the offensive rookie of the year. It would probably come down to him and London in the end. Those two are kind of neck and neck right now. But the fact that he's already showing the physicality, the route running to make it look very easy against NFL talent. I've never seen somebody get that much separation on a fade in the end zone before.
Not in the pros.
Not in the pros.
He ran the exact same route and got that exact same amount of separation in college from the same alignment. But no, and that's what I mean, where he looks the exact same. He's running the same routes he did at Ohio State. He's still cooking people,
and he's still getting the same amount of separation. It's wild. And then, as you said, the cerebral aspect of it as well is all just so well ahead of where he should be right now. And it's amazing. I love it. It's only going to get better too.
It really should only get better, and especially when Zach Wilson gets back, and this offense can be firing on full cylinders when even their quarterback is an explosive athlete that defenses have to worry about. I can't wait to see what this team looks like. You brought it up, Matt. We've been saying for so long, all the talent on this offense, all this explosive potential on this offense. We're seeing the results. This game was the results of it, that eventually for a defense, you can do things right for so long and you can cover so many people for so long, but you're still going to leave someone open in a check down, and Michael Carter can make a guy miss, or you let Garrett Wilson slip behind you for a corner route and he's open for 30 yards. Eventually the dam breaks and you can't cover all of these guys at once. You factor in Michael LaFleur's play calling, what he was able to do to utilize these guys in space. You saw some jet sweeps with Berrios and Breece Hall that I really liked. We saw a little more quick game where we were able to get the ball to our guys out in the flat. On the final drive, it was just get to the check down and let people make plays. They didn't have to get it all in one chunk. They just let their skill talent do what they do best. And Garrett Wilson led the way. That's incredible for a rookie receiver. I can't wait to see what he does next. I'm going to keep saying it.
Same, yeah.